Hi, this is Shelley with Edgy Gardener, and today I am going to start the process of getting ready to plant the tulips. Maybe I'll get the tulips planted today. I'm not sure. I ordered more than I usually do, so I think there's several hundred in there, and I believe I have 2 places to put them. But now watching some of the YouTube videos and people planting tulips in pots, now I think I want to save a few for the pots, but we'll see what happens. This is my Westend bed here, and that's just because it's on the west end of my property, and it's the last bit of my hosta row, which goes all along the back side of the property. And this is going to be a completely new color scheme for me this spring. I put in a purple rhododendron and I put 2 azaleas, and I say the word and I always say it wrong, and my family makes fun of me. Gibraltar azaleas. Did I say that right? I don't know. It's not an easy word to say. It never sounds right. But they're orange azaleas, purple rhododendrons. So my tulips are white, peach, and orange. And then I already have some purple alliums in there, some globe masters or gladiators. I don't remember which one. But today I am going to clean that bed up. I'm going to trim the hostas down and trim back everything so that I can move around the bed pretty easily with the tulips. But I do want to show you what the area looks like right now. So our swing, which we love, we spend some time on this swing, this sloppy bed, which I will say that this bed needs help, and I just haven't found the right mix and placement of plants. Every year I work on it and move things around. But this is the rest of the yard. This pile of dirt here is to my hips. And there's next year's pool. More dirt. And then of course I put a video where we moved that arbor from here. So all of that stuff, none of it is where it's supposed to be. So this is the mess that I'm dealing with. And I have a tiny space right here to get my little wagon through, and even then I was clumping on some dirt. But we will be persistent and we will get into this bed and clean it up and get ready for tulips. You know what, before I start dismantling this bed, I want to go through it for my winter self so I remember what's what. So when I'm making plans for next year's planting, I will remember where things. But this blue pot was new, and I do have I don't remember the type, but this tiny little boxwood in here, which I was going to Linda Vader style do in topiary fashion. So it has just a little bit of legs, one leg there, and I will take these verbena out. I have a Rainbow's End Alberta spruce here. There is that PJM rhododendron. So this will be, next spring will be its first bloom. Then I have one of my big hostas. I don't know the name of this. It came with me from other homes, or somebody gave me a start, but it's usually happy. I have Raspberry Splash Pulmonaria down here, which this will stay pretty much like this all season, and then it will bloom purple and pink multicolored blooms in the spring, and those will last before and after the tulips. These leaves just are so Jurassic looking. I've said that before, and they're fuzzy, and they're not a comfortable fuzzy. They kind of hurt, and when they are dry like this, they are sharp. So be very careful. This Raspberry Splash Pulmonaria. I do have some, which hasn't done much of anything this year, this Bishop's Hat Epimedium. I think that's how you say that. That should get some fall colors, but here it is late October and no fall color. It didn't grow much. But I did have this giant hosta here. It's Empress Wu hosta, which I moved back there. And doesn't that look sad and embarrassing? Next spring, baby, that's your year. When I moved the Empress Wu, I uncovered these 2 hostas, and I don't know what I want to do with them. Some coleus here that needs to come out. There's one of my Gibraltar azaleas and another hosta. It's really cute. It's just a simple green, doesn't do that much in the way of color, but it fills its spot in quite nicely. And every year I think I want to move it, but I just can't bring myself to do it, and I don't know why. I have some I can read it, and I might even be able to spell it, but when it comes to saying it, Hakinakloa, areola, something like that. This is that Japanese forest grass, and I saw this combination in a magazine with this type of hosta, where it's sort of a chartreuse with the dark green, and then up against this, and then a dark green hosta. I think it's the Garden Gate magazine, and I really do enjoy it. But I think what I did wrong in my novice gardening decisions, that I made the area too small. I should have probably gotten more of that, left more of an area for that grass to spread out. And then nondescript hostas here, and back there. And then I moved 2 of my hollies. And I always thought they were Mr. and Mrs. Poppins, but I don't think so. They are, Castle Spire winter color. They're proven winners. Isn't that pretty? In the winter with the red berries. And I do have male and female versions. I'm just not sure what these 2 are, because I have one other place as well. So this should get 8 to 10 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet wide, and I don't see the zone. Oh, the hardiest zone is 5 to 7, which I'm in a 5, and I've had these for several years, but I've never had them back here. I do not think they will get the full height because they do not get full sun back here, but I was trying to trim them into a little box hedge back there. Okay, and then I have this meadow rue, but this is the official name, Thalictrum meadow rue. Again, saw this in a magazine, towering over hostas. They got taller than the fence, and they have these wispy little delicate pink flowers that just, I don't know, it's like fairy dust in the garden. I loved it, and I took some seeds from that, so I hope I can spread them out. I have this yellow corydalis. Now I say that, but I have heard, when I bought this, I heard the guy at the garden center, he pronounced that so differently, and I couldn't even wrap my brain around it. It was so different from the inflection that I put on it. So I do not know how you're supposed to say it, but phonetically, to me, it's corydalis. Yellow, trumpet-like flowers. And I don't know about you guys, but it's always a stressful decision what to pick along the edging, because the edge to me is so very important, and I have so many things that I love. I just don't know what to give to that space. So this I have moved several times, and I don't know if I'll be happy with it. Let's just wait to see what happens next spring. So quickly, we'll round this out. Another of the azalea, Gibraltar azalea right there. It's a bit bigger. I have here a giant fleece flower. Now, doesn't that look pathetic? Really pathetic, but it could get some really pretty fall color. Maybe not enough sun here under these trees. It's very floppy, and the branches, if we have a good wind, or if I have branches from the other tree, I called these branches stalks, these stalks will break so quickly and easily. I don't know if that is the personality of the plant is in the wrong spot, or it is diseased in some way. So this guy has 1 more year in my garden. And then I have this Baptisia, which is my best looking Baptisia that I have right now, because everything else I've had to move, and they don't like being moved. This is blue wild indigo, and it is not as robust as my other ones because it's in the shade, and that was a complete trial. They say shade or sun, and they did grow, they did bloom, or it grew and bloomed, but it's just not as dense. And then these are really neat. This is the first year I've done these. Here are the seed pods here. hear it? Isn't that neat? And you pop it open. And there are the seeds. So I have collected a little packet full of these too. Now if I grow them, you know, I don't know where I'm gonna put them, but I just wanna see if I can grow them. I do have a lot of ferns. My goodness, I was thinking of stilbies. Ferns, and see how it just gets so woody back there. Now these ferns have been pathetic and sad because they don't get enough water. But like I've said before, I am fixing my water issue, and actually the box of solutions are sitting on my front porch right now. And then this is a clematis. I bought this from somebody up near my parents' house, and she has a beautiful shade bed, and I think it's called Virginia. It's not a Virginia creeper, it's Virginicum or Virginia clematis, but it is a shade. I mean, it does well in the shade. Look how green, look how bossy. It's pretty bossy. My goal is, hey, reminder to my 2021 self, let's put some string, some little hooks and some string across here so the clematis can grow along that, and maybe it won't, maybe it'll look a little bit more intentional than this. So that's the Westend bed. So let's break it down. So let's talk about cutting down hostas for a second. Now, I'm not completely finished with this bed yet, but I do have to tell you that I have never done such a thorough job of cleaning this back bed out. Usually it is a forgotten thing, and every spring I tell myself, clean it out. We have a lot of things dropping from the trees that the squirrels like to dig up. I have a lot of sticks and stems that tend to look messy. Here, I have tons of these everywhere, and the squirrels will dig them up. And anyway, so trying to get those out and just trying to make it look good for spring. Now the hostas, I'm cutting them down. When I had hostas amidst my lawn in my last house, my husband would just mow them over with the lawnmower, which the first year he did that, I nearly had a heart attack and thought, you are killing them. But they came back the next year, and they came back every year afterwards. I read somewhere just recently that said not to cut down your hostas in the fall. But then again, I think it was Laura from Garden Answer, said how slugs and snails, which I deal with, is a major problem. I do not have deer, but I have slugs and snails. She says that they lay their eggs and they can overwinter, and then that creates a problem in the spring. So I'm taking that advice, and I'm just going to do what I've done before and just trim them all down. Also, this year we mulched in the middle of the summer, so everything was so big, we were just kind of tucking it under there. And I was looking forward to this season when I could cut everything back and really give everything a really good layer of mulch. So last year I spread leaves over everything and had a pretty good spring. I think we all had a pretty good spring. It was a really good spring for plants. But this year I don't have that leaf supplier anymore, so I'm going to go with the mulch. And I'm getting this done a lot quicker than I thought, so I might get the tulips planted and it mulched. I am here inside and I am unboxing the tulips. Now, they have been sitting in my foyer for some time, more than a few days. And I know they're supposed to be stored in a cool, dry place. But let's hope they're okay. Let's take a look. So I ordered from Color Blends this year right here. And this is the first time I've ordered from this company. And I don't know about you guys, but when I order tulips months ahead of time and they arrive, I don't remember what I was thinking. Where was I going to put these? This year I made notes. Okay, so this is Mount Everest, white, and it's very late. I like to get the mid to late season because then their little browning leaves are quickly covered up by the emerging hostas and surrounding plants. Oh, the gladiator alliums. I forgot that I did those. Good, 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 good. Those are nice sized bulbs, right? Those are some tulips. But, oh look, a magnet. Oh, a starry night. Van Gogh. How did they know? One of our favorites, especially my husband. Oh, that's the sherbet. This is violet and salmon pink. So I believe the sherbet was going into the area that I have not prepared yet. So we do have a planting guide and care instructions that come along with the box. So I will glance over that and make sure that I remember how to do everything. And let's see, here we have the Freedom Shades of Orange and Clear Water. Okay, so this is the bed that I just cleared out. Here's the clear water. See, this is mid to late white. And this one, see, when I ordered them, I did put the planting location, but it didn't show up on the tag. So clear water, white, plant 4 inches apart. And up here it says job name, planting location. I will have to check my notes, but I believe this is what I did. For that Westend that I just prepared, they were out of the mix because I thought about it too long. So I made my own with the clear water, which is 25 tulips, which is white. Clear water again, so there are 50 white tulips and more Mount Everest alliums to add that purple to go with the rhododendron. And then I have 100 Freedom shades of orange. Maybe I can put the picture on the screen, but there are 3 different varieties of orange, and I'm hoping that they're not bright orange, but more of a salmony, peachy, rusty orange, because that's what I liked back there. So that's for the Westend Bed. And then this one, the sherbet, is for the same area, but on the other side of the swing, and that is 100 tulips. So I have 200 tulips going in a small area and 100 tulips going in a larger area. I either didn't think that through or I ran out of money. I don't remember which one. So for many years, I was using one of these, where you stick it in the dirt, push, twist, and then pull up. And then you have that clump of dirt, you squeeze this, and it releases. This was a wrist breaker. I usually bent them before I was halfway done. And maybe if my soil wasn't as thick or clayish, this would work better. And you know, that's still here for a backup, but this is what I'm using. I'm using a drill and an auger. And the bulbs should be planted about 6, let's see, they say on the tag to plant 5 inches deep. And in the Color Blends manual here, it does say that if you plan to mulch, then you do not have to plant as deep. So if you're going to add 2 inches of mulch and you're supposed to plant the tulips 5 inches deep, then you can plant them 3 inches deep with the 2 inches of mulch. So we're going to do that math and plant accordingly. Okay, we are done. So I had 200 bulbs and I spaced them as close together and in as many groups together, but I think I only ended up planting about 182 of them. So since I have some left, I'm going to try some in some containers, but they are planted and then they are mulched, and it is supposed to rain for the next 4 days. So I'm not going to water them in tonight, but if it doesn't rain by tomorrow, then I will come out with a hose and avoid watering, because I have to go, it's kind of over the river and through the woods almost, because my hose is, see where the hydrangea tree is? It's that loop right there. So somehow I have to get over there, across the dirty, messy gravel, up a gravel hill, avoiding the big ditch, and then around under the rope here, and then over to the bed. So I think it's safer to just wait for the rain. But just look how nice that looks. I have never, ever made this bed look so good for the fall. I haven't. I'm just staring at it thinking, you look so good. You look so good. Go to sleep. Come see me in the spring. So very happy with the progress. So the next tulip adventure is over here. I am so very thankful for this beautiful fall weekend. This was Saturday and I was able to spend uninterrupted time in my garden, uninterrupted other than helping my hole digger move a desk in the basement and eating and drinking and piddly human things like that. But otherwise, a whole day in the garden, and it's just brisk and a little bit windy, and the colors are beautiful. I don't think I have much color behind me right now, but anyway, just so thankful for this fall day. So that is one tulip project down, and I hope anybody watching this is enjoying your garden as well. Thanks for watching. I appreciate if you liked the video and if you would hit subscribe. See you next time.